Hey there, welcome back once again. It's time for the Comics Coffee Table. Indeed. Pull up a chair, grab a cup of your favorite, whatever. Let me know in the comments what you're pushing underneath your nose today. I'm going to need some more coffee any second now. Piping hot and freshly brewed. Thank you for coming to the coffee table this morning. We are using these two books this year to frame our show around. We've been having a conversation about comic books for over a year now, and it gets bigger and bigger every day. We got new reviewers coming in every day, and that's a great thing. Thank you so much for coming aboard. Like and subscribe while you're here. Please turn on those notifications. You will eventually learn how to tell time. Hey, it must be 3 p.m. in Boston, U.S. Eastern. I can tell time. Indeed. Thank you so very much. My parents got these for me for Christmas. So this year is dedicated to my parents. This year, we are going through my old comic book collection, which desperately it's in dire need of new boxes and new bags and definitely new boards. So I'm going through my entire collection, and I'm going to rebox, reboard, rebag everything. And along the way, we're gonna learn how to grade comics together. You know what I mean? And we're going to find their value using these two great books. The Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. This is an industry standard. This is a great resource. This is the current edition, the most current edition of both of these publications. This has been an interesting ride so far. We're learning more and more about comic books themselves and about grading them, their quality of the individual magazine themselves. And we're going to get deeper into this book as the year goes on. Excuse me. Oh, let me wet my whistle again, please. Let me clear my throat. I got a couple of loose issues, 4 to be sure, from 2002. So these are the last issues going into a new short box. Yeah, right here. That's how full we got. One short box full of new comic books in 2022. Rookie numbers. I gotta get those up there. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. But I just want to let you know that the mission of this show is to get you to get your ass out of your seats and get your ass to the local comic book shop. Yes, indeed. You need to go, because I did. You must have some comic books around too that need some bags, some boards, some boxes. You know, where else were you going to get them? On Amazon? No. Go down to your local comic book shop, please. Spend some money. Get some boards. Get some better bags than these, but this is what was on hand. I need to find My Lights or their equivalent, and they're on back order. So, supply chain, post-2020. You know, living in the future in the 21st century. These are 21st century problems, aren't they? And so I'm going to go through, I'm going to bag, I'm going to rebag, rebox, and reboard everything. But I want you to, spend your money at your local comic book shop. Why? Because when they're gone, they're gone. That's it. These are mom and pop shops that will have a natural lifetime. And we'll always have some kind of comic book shop. There will be, we have vintage record stores. We have vintage candy shops. You know what I mean? They're boutiques. And they're very few and far between. So let's enjoy our local comic book shops while we can. Because like I said, when they're gone, they're gone. And a lot of them are dropping. There are comic book shops closing. And it's just... It's a lot of different things, but it's a sign of the times, and we must adapt and change and evolve, like the X-Men. Yeah, something like that. But I just want to let you know that I am not a professional grader. These are simply learning tools, and I'm learning about this, and we're learning this together as we go along. It's going to be a nice ride. We're going to learn a lot, and we're going to talk a lot about different comics, old comics, and but I am not a professional grader. I'm simply learning. This show is for entertainment purposes only. If you need professional grading advice, talk to your local comic book shop and get some, more professional advices. But they had to learn somewhere too, and this is part of it. Thank you so much, very much. 86 coffee. Oh, that's it for coffee. Oh my goodness. Is he really brushing his beard? Yes, he is. And but yeah, welcome to the coffee table. The coffee table was always the place where my friends would congregate, and we would just get into these epic late night conversations, and there would always be a stack of movies or a stack of books, and even stacks of comic books. And we would just try to turn each other on to like what's new and what's happening or what you may have missed. I'm like, oh, this is Batman Hush. You haven't read this yet? Oh, stop, drop, and giggle. You need this. So in that spirit of the coffee table, welcome to our coffee table. This show started revolving around a hardcover coffee table book that was literally surfing my coffee table for almost 20 years. It's right over there. It's taking a surf break. Okay. And we used that all last year. It's a 365 days book, so we just opened up to today's date. We would read the blurb. We would look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We would talk about the golden age of DC Comics and comic books, where this superhero stuff all started in Action Comics 1938, issue number 1, first appearance of Superman. Excuse me. And yeah, this coffee table has been a nice place where we're having this conversation. We've been having it, and we will continue to have this conversation 3 p.m. U.S. daily. That's right. Like and subscribe. Come aboard. Alrighty. Well, let's get to it. The loose ends, the vagabonds of my collection. Let's see. Now I got this. I thumbed through it a bit. It's pretty cool, to be honest. And let's look at the indicia. All right. Our indicia colophon. This is Justice League Infinity, issue number 2, released with the cover date of October 2021. So this was an old comic when I got it off the shelf, but it was just on the shelf, to be moved. I didn't get it in the back issue bin, but it's not canonical. If you remember the Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series on Fox Kids, Kevin Conroy, God bless you, he just passed. But that universe, Justice League Unlimited. Well, this is in that Bruce Timm universe, that style. And it's set in that universe. So these are the continuing stories of that Kevin Conroy Batman. Set in the comic book. The comic books don't really matter to the continuity of the cartoons. Yet it's nice to see that we have room still to enjoy those interpretations of the characters in these stories. So this was a $3.99 issue. I just picked it up random. Oh, there we go. It froze up on my end just for a second there. Sorry about that. And but yeah, so this is the $3.99 comic book, and written by Jim DeMatteis, who did a lot of work on Justice League International, late 80s, one of my all-time favorites. He also wrote Spider-Man, Kraven's Last Hunt, Fearful Symmetry, with Mike Zeck. like my most favorite Spider-Man story ever. We've covered that before too. We have those floppies left over from my high school days. But I'm gonna put this into a bag, doubled up. This was really nice. But see, like it's got a dinged up corner. Is that spine kind of iffy? Drink it. Put that down. Put down the bottle and get to work. What? Fuck off, book. But yeah, the corners are just a little dinged up. That's okay. I didn't get this for its value. I got it because it was fun. I could just jump into it, and it's a little multiversy. Who is Overman? Overman is the evil Yahtzee version of Superman. Like, what if Clark Kent? What if Baby Kal-El landed in Yahtzee, Germany, 1938, instead of Smallville, Kansas? What if he was raised by a German family, and you know, the hills were alive? But you know, it's an interesting take on the character. You know, there's another take on this character too. A what if? It's called Superman Red Sun, written by the prolific and awesome Mark Millar, where it's a what if. What if Baby Kal-El landed in a Soviet farm in the Soviet Union in 1938 instead of Smallville, Kansas? You know, and how that would have tipped. So each one of these Earths, or each one of these multiverse Earths, represents a different what if. Superman was, the land of the free and the home of the brave, raised Superman with American ideals of the American farm. However you want to take that. If you think that's problematic, that he grew up Christian in a traditional family, pre-nuclear family, very traditional family. He grew up in a Christian house. I mean, just very American, with farm values of the work ethic of the farm. You know, that's what makes Superman Superman. It's not his strength, it's how he uses it. And the lens is his experience, his formative years, his parents, Jonathan and Martha Kent's upbringing, their values of the farm and of the home and of community. And Superman remains a wonderful story. But these what ifs of him, these multiverse riffs, they can be pretty interesting. And so yes, it's time to get a bag, a board. And we were saying yesterday about my lens of how I buy current comics is usually through creators. And so I got this. This is Action Comics, issue number 1047. Continuing the issue numbering, the numeration from Action Comics number 1, June of 1938. Same volume number. Now, there have been a few issues 1 in between, yet it reverted back to its legacy numbering, especially for its big ballyhooed issue 1000, just a couple of years ago. Very special issue that was. Detective Comics also reached the 1000 mark. Flash is about to hit 800. Wonder Woman's about to hit 800. And, Batman. Wow, I could... You know what? I'm going to do the math for Batman. Stand by. Okay, doke. The power of technology, right? So Batman, spring 1940 until October of 2011, went 713 issues. The New 52 has 52 issues, yet they also have an issue 0. So that's 53. We're up to 131 issues here in the newest volume from Rebirth, 2016. That was a new issue 1. And we're up to 131 issues on that volume. Wow, Batman should have had gone back to its 800th issue. I mean, there was an issue 21 in the new 52. There are issue 23 has a .1, a .2, a .3, and a 23.4 issue. That was the month of the villain, and that was a spotlight on an individual rogue. So that was a weekly. So I don't know how issue 23 counts. Now, if it does count as that counts as 3 more issues, then, I mean, we should have had a Batman issue 800. I mean, what happened to that? I wonder if maybe next month will be. Because this is 130. I missed 131 at the Funny Book Bodega. And but if we take in consideration those 3 issues and the other issue number 0 from the 713 issues, because there was a 0 issue there too, we should have been on issue 801 by now. And that should have been issue 131 last week, new issue. Should have been a legacy issue 800. I mean, really? I need to call my other comics aficionados and get to the bottom of this. Hello, that's newsworthy. Let me get calling all Bat fans to the Bat polls, to the Bat family. But that's what makes this book really cool. That, you know, it's a resource. We can just look stuff up just like that. Seeing that Action Comics went back to its volume 1 numbering, especially in time for the 1000th issue. Same with Detective Comics. That Wonder Woman and Flash both went back to their original numbering, and they're both in the high 700s, and they're both coming up to their anniversary 800th issue. That there was no was there a ballyhoo of the 800th issue of Batman? I would have known there would have been some kind of bells and whistles or something. But in all case, here is the I didn't have 129. I forgot to get it. See, this is the one that everyone was kind of cranky about Batman falling to Earth. I mean, I didn't care. I mean, I thought, like, how is he gonna get out of this one? That's what I thought. And here's 128, and it's a pretty good backup issue. This one's got a couple of dings on it. It's got a folded edge. I'm gonna say this is probably a 7.0. You know what I mean? Or, you know, boy, this is splitting too. Awesome. So we're gonna bag it, bagging it, and you're going in the box. And we need to bag you guys too. And I hope you're doing awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. Going back to this. Phil Kennedy Johnson, he wrote Action Comics, and he took Clark off planet to War World-ish kind of stuff with Mongol. It was really gladiatorial, really cool. It was a return to really good Superman storytelling. While over in Superman, it switched over to Superman, Son of Kal-El, which has the late teenager Jonathan Kent and his adventures. With modernity. And but he'll be okay. That'll all figure out. And here we go. Yeah, tape, seal it, tag it, sell it to the butcher at the store, and boxing. So yeah, that's interesting. No ballyhoo for Batman 800. I have to. I'm gonna ask around. So yeah, we got some Batman. We got some Superman, and we bagged, we boarded, and we boxed. And that literally does it for 2022. There's a couple of stray issues of 2023 in here. Yeah, a couple of like what we got the other last week. And we'll continue to do so until it's full. But look at that. Wow, that's like, I only buy a couple of titles, and it's half a year, but good chunk of that is my crowdfunding space too. Awesome. What else? And I found this in here too. I'll end the show with this. This is a nice thought. I found this in the long box. They're Lego instructions. Back in 2014, about 2015, my mom got me a Millennium Falcon, a Force Awakens Millennium Falcon, and it awoken me a love of Lego. And especially because, I'm a chef. I have a stressful job. We all do. We all negotiate our stresses however we do. And I started a new morning thing with building Legos, like over coffee in the morning, like 10 minutes here. And just in the morning before I left, you make a mistake, that's fine. You just back up, you take it apart, and you find out where you made your error, and you rebuild. And it kind of formats your mind in a way too, to prepare for things to go sideways. And I invested in this. This was expensive too, but it was worth every brick. This is the 1966 Adam West, Burt Ward, Cesar Romero, Julie Newmar, Burgess Meredith, Frank Gorshin. This is the Batman 66 Batcave. And this was like the centerpiece of my geek background for a couple of years. And I even tricked it out with a giant penny, a green T-Rex Lego, and a Joker card, which is an appropriate size. That looks like a giant Joker card in scale to the Batcave. But it was just a wonderful, fun time. It came with the Batcopter. Came with the Batmobile, a Batcopter, a scale 3-story Wayne Manor with the illusion of working bat poles. It was working. Were they working bat poles? Yeah, and like the bookcase slides out, and you have a little lever there, and Batman and Robin will go down the bat poles, and that's how it came together. It was great. I had a light table, like an old graphic artist light table, and that was my display for my Legos, but it took up so much bloody room. And and I put all my Legos away. That came to I grokked it in its fullness and in the completeness of time, right? And if you could still see, that's the last remnant of my Batcave was that, because that would be the view from stately Wayne Manor's library, where the red phone and the Shakespeare bust is, and the bat poles and Alfred. That would be the view from the Palisades, and that's the bat signal as well. That's a little toy bat signal, and that's an old belt buckle that I thought made like a really good bat signal, and that's Manhattan and Chicago from the Lego Architecture series. And I got a Bane minifigure pretending he's King Kong, and I've got all the Batman 66 minifigures and a couple of mini Funkos that I've accrued along the way. But I thought it was fun because Christopher Nolan used a lot of shots of Manhattan and specifically Chicago for his Dark Knight trilogy. So that was very fitting. And so if you ever wondered, what is that? Well, that's the Gotham City skyline, as seen from stately Wayne Manor. Thank you so very much. We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. Turn on those notifications, ring that bell. You will eventually learn how to tell time. Hey, it's 3 p.m. in U.S. Eastern in Boston. It's time for the show. Here, it's time to come to the Comics Coffee Table. Thank you so much. I need some more coffee. And thank you so much. I can't do this show without you. You are the most important ingredient to this recipe. Thank you so much. Keep those comments coming. Enjoy each other's conversation in the live chat. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages and at the Comics Coffee Table. Bye-bye.